If we use more efficient electricity appliances, we can save this much off of the global warming pollution that would otherwise be put into the atmosphere. If we use other end-use efficiency, this much. If we have higher mileage cars, this much. And all these begin to add up. Other transport efficiency, renewable technology. We have everything we need, save perhaps political will. But you know what? In America, political will is a renewable resource.
When we see solutions, all the so-called solutions put forward to global warming, the thing they all have in common is that they take industrial civilization as a given and they take the natural world as the dependent variable. It's all about saving civilization, and that's entirely backwards. What it should be is we need to do whatever it takes to save life on the planet.
In the next 40 to 50 years, we're going to see the extinction of more species than we've seen in the past 65 million years. That, to me, is a red light and a siren going off as a call to people who will cut through the crap and do what is necessary to protect the earth for here and now and for future generations. It is you that are going to have to answer to your children 50, 75 years from now when they ask what you did during the eco-wars. And in that sense, I think each one of us has to live the life today, this very moment, doing the things that we would be proud to tell our ancestors about.
If we are serious about saving life on Earth, we've got to start fighting back in the ways that people do when they realize they need to form a serious resistance movement.
Most indigenous populations who maintain any sense of a traditional worldview know that the way of life that settler society has imposed on this land is unsustainable. Yet there's been a sense that we really need to kind of wait until it collapses, or wait until they're done doing, or they've reached their limit and they can't continue the way that they've been going on, and be patient. Fuck patience.
I think really the big problem is power, and that's something that liberals have a lot of trouble kind of thinking about or wrapping their heads around. And the problem is that this culture has clearly defined hierarchy. There are people who are clearly in power and who benefit from power and who benefit from destroying the planet and who benefit from exploiting other people. And they've been doing that for a long time, and their power is more important to them than anything else.
There is no personal consumer choice that is going to dismantle the systems of power that are behind the destruction of our planet. What we need is organized political resistance.
You cannot just simply ask the state for these reforms or for any kind of gains or concessions. You have to force them to do it, and that's the power of disruption.
It was a bloody day at the Mohawk Indian community in Oka, Quebec, near Montreal. Provincial police in riot gear stormed the barricades the Mohawks had set up. There were clouds of tear gas, a hail of bullets, and in the midst of the battle, a policeman was killed. All this because of a dispute over a piece of forest the Indians claim is theirs. A forest town council wants to bulldoze to expand the local golf course.
The police retreated as abruptly as they'd attacked, leaving behind their cruisers. They also left a heavy front-end loader, which the Mohawks immediately put to their own use. The police cruisers, crushed and useless, became barricades themselves.
We treat these trees and the land like our mother. These people are raping our mother. What would you do if they raped your mother?
These politicians are servants of the system. It's their job to keep it going. It's their job to keep profit rolling in for the ruling class. And they will never, ever act in the people's interests or in the interests of the planet. It doesn't matter what we say. The only thing that they will respond to is force and the threat of social disruption. And even if we allow them to stay in power, they will always take back any gain that we manage to get from them.
It's really important to recognize that no struggle is done that there's not any possibility of any lasting victory as long as the state still exists. But we can definitely see in the histories of struggle, small gains have been won and ways in which we've empowered ourselves by the use of all tactics. And I think it's not even important to really say if a particular tactic is violent or not, because this is just kind of a moral category meant to restrict action. I think it's more important to look at which tactics can be empowering and liberating and useful.
Purely above ground means are designed to facilitate the expansion of global capitalism.
These are serious power structures that are making vast sums of money. They are backed up by the power of the armed state in every way imaginable. They've got armies on their side, they own the mass media, the banks, all the money is on their side.
If there's any doubt about the leadership that our military is showing, you just need to look at this F-18 fighter and the light armored vehicle behind me. The Army and Marine Corps have been testing this vehicle on a mixture of biofuels, and this Navy fighter jet, appropriately called the Green Hornet, will be flown for the first time in just a few days on Earth Day.
Crazy Horse 1, hey, request permission to engage. Picking up the load. I'm trying to get permission to engage. Come on, let us shoot. The Bushmaster, Crazy Horse 1A. We're taking him. Bushmaster, Crazy Horse 1A. This is Bushmaster 7, go ahead. Roger, we have a black SUV or bongo truck picking up the bodies. Request permission to engage. This is Bushmaster 7, roger. This is Bushmaster 7, roger, engage. 1A, engage. Clear. Come on. Clear.
So if the law will not do the right thing, other people will have to do the right thing, and they'll have to do the right thing by breaking the law. And that precedent has been set many times throughout our history. The people who saved the Jews from the German Nazis broke the law for a higher ethical purpose. The people who liberated slaves in our country through the Underground Railroad system to protect them from slave masters and a very barbaric law in the United States at that time. They did the right thing. They broke the law for a higher ethical purpose.
We need to start and get out there and go beyond hitting like on Facebook and signing online petitions. We need to be out there in the real world fighting back.
I think one of the things that we really have to accept and internalize is that the majority of institutions and the majority of people are never going to be on our side. And so we have to sit down as individual activists and as communities of resistance, as a culture of resistance, and we have to say, okay, well, what will it take to stop this culture from destroying the planet? You know, part of the answer is obviously that persuasion hasn't worked, and persuasion is not going to work. If we want to be successful, then we have to look at what resistance movements in the past have done and what they've learned, and kind of the different phases that they've gone through as they've tried to assert themselves and try to be successful.
When I say organized political resistance, I mean that we need to face power head on. Once you name power, you will find that power is sociopathic, that the people in charge will do whatever it takes to shut you up.
The thing about when you enter into a period of social conflict, what you don't want is people promoting nonviolence, because that's going to disarm the people. It's going to disarm the people in the face of an aggressive enemy and in the face of hard social conditions. You want them to have a stronger fighting spirit, because without a fighting spirit, you lack the will to resist.
The smartest thing the Nazis did was they made it so that at every step of the way it was in the Jews' rational best interest to not resist. Would you rather get an ID card, or do you want to resist and possibly get killed? Do you want to move to a ghetto, or do you want to resist and possibly get killed? Do you want to get on a cattle car, or do you want to resist and possibly get killed? You want to take a shower, Or do you want to resist and possibly get killed? At every step of the way, it was in their rational self-interest to not resist. But I'll tell you something very important, which is the Jews that participated in the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising had a higher rate of survival than those who went along.
I think if any of us were alive in Nazi Germany right now, we would know what a resistance movement should be doing. And we need to think about the culture of industrial civilization as if it's a culture of occupation, because it is.